My biggest question is, do you think that, especially with this for that conversation that you just had, do you think that this is just trying to take away from, like, media attention from, like, current events that are going on right now, especially for, like, corona relief?
Oh, well, I think they got a huge loss yesterday. I mean, I think this is deserved response, Chris, and I think you're right. That $15 minimum wage that the left has put all this pressure on was struck by the Senate parliamentarian
who we dealt with.
Said you cannot put this in a reconciliation package in the COVID relief bill. Now, the House, though, because they are so tied to their interest groups in the far left, said we're going to keep it in there anyways. You know what this means? The Senate will have to strike it out.
And then they got to go reconciliation.
Delay, more and more delay for actual relief to the American people. Welcome to Democrat-controlled House, Senate, and White House.
Yeah, so
they tell you they want to help Americans quickly, and yet when they're told you can't do it this way, they're still going to keep it in there for political purposes. Shame on Nancy Pelosi, those Democrats, because Americans need help.
I think Jordan's absolutely right. Now, I don't think it was a distraction because it did not become a distraction. I think their question is, and I'll go to Andy and Harry on this, the question is, that you have to realize that when you listen to what Jen Psaki said about open invitation for diplomacy, take a listen to the soundbite.
The point we are at is that the United States has expressed an openness to an invitation to have a diplomatic conversation.
And then, Andy, we will go ahead and attack your troops, which I understand exactly why they did it, but we'll go ahead and attack your troops and your surrogates that happen to be operating in Syria, but we don't want to escalate anything. This messaging is ridiculous.
Well, it is, Jay. I mean, it is ridiculous. We want diplomatic relations, and we want rapport with you, and we want to open the lines of communication with a sworn terrorist enemy of the United States. There's no question about it. Your surrogates attack Asbil, kill Americans, and what we do to retaliate, what we really do to show you how serious we are about saying that we don't like what you do and that we condemn it is we drop 7 500-pound bombs in some outpost in the middle of nowhere, making sure that it's in Syria so as not to upset, the Iraqis or, for that matter, the Iranians, in my opinion. But you do it in a sovereign country, which Psaki said before several years ago that you shouldn't have the right to do, and Kamala Harris condemned roundly. Well, wait, I mean, it's laughable. This is not a policy. This goes back to what I have said on this program for years. You cannot appease a dictator. You cannot continue to feed the crocodile in the vain hope that he will eat you last. And that's what we're doing with the Iranians.
Senator Graham tweeted, he's very supportive of the strike, hopes it will create necessary deterrence in the future, which, Harry, from a policy perspective, that's what you do. You do a strike as deterrence, not to get them back to maybe it gets them back to the negotiating table, but we're negotiating something they want, not something we want.
Absolutely. So one of the things that the Biden administration could actually learn from with respect to the Trump administration is that the Trump administration believed that you take the attack provided by the enemy back to the enemy. So the Biden administration needs to take a page from Moshe Dayan, who said to the Egyptians decades ago that the road that leads from Cairo to Tel Aviv leads from Tel Aviv to Cairo. Instead, the Biden administration has basically said, we're going to drop a few bombs, but please come back to the negotiating table, and we will basically give you what you want. I think the message that has been received by the Iranians is, well, let's attack Americans again. And so I think the Biden administration needs to stand up and say, we will not take this from any other country going forward.